now that we're done gushing about Sonic Mania, or I am, rather, a couple more Sega games to talk about. First of all, I'm not going to touch on this one in particular a lot, but Yakuza 1 remake, Yakuza Kawami, whatever one it is coming out Tuesday. I'm just throwing that out there now because I am going to do a Let's Play of that. So for anybody who wants to see that, just wait or subscribe and you'll get to see that when I do that. I don't know. See, I wanted to do that one with Josh because he hasn't played Yakuza, and I think his reactions would be really good. Like if you've ever had a friend who show them Yakuza who doesn't know what Yakuza is, for all you Yakuza players out there, and show them the really like goofy shit that goes on in that game and just the awesome story, and just see their reactions. It's interesting how new people are look at this game and they kind of tilt their head, but then they also like face their head back up and then they get engaged in like the story. It's such a weird game, but it's also like a serious game. How do you explain that to somebody? It's awesome. So I wanted to throw that out there, but we are going to touch upon the Yakuza 6 Special Edition, which got announced, and also Yakuza, it is Kiwami, I wrote it down, Kiwami 2. So they already, I think it was leaked, but then they just kind of announced it. I don't know if they announced it because sometimes, when things get leaked, they announce it just to be like, well, they already leaked it, might as well. That was just yesterday, as of me recording this video, so yesterday would have been August 25th. So that's something to look forward to, and they said that it'll run on the Yakuza 6 engine. We'll get to Yakuza 6 in a minute, which is awesome, because the Yakuza 6's engine does look really good. I'm going to assume, well, plus, like, I was just playing Yakuza 0 today because of the news. People might already know this. I didn't know this, but at the beginning of Yakuza 0, I realized that it says, like, what is it, 10th anniversary, whatever the anniversary is for Yakuza. It's probably longer than that. It's probably like 20 years, 15 years. And then it says revitalizing the franchise or something like that. It actually says that when you start at the game. I didn't realize that. I didn't think of anything like that. And I was like, oh, maybe they had some plan to like remake all the Yakuza games. Because obviously that's what it seems like is happening. Yakuza really took off recently when there was like the news about Yakuza 5 wasn't coming to America because they were like, well, we don't think anybody will buy it. So it took them like 3 or 4 years to finally get it here to America on the PS3. And it was digital only. So that's where I started to notice a lot of people like really talking about Yakuza, bringing it up a lot more than it was before. And just last year, I believe it was, they decided that they reprinted like Yakuza 1, 2, 3, and 4, 4 being on the PS3, the other ones being PS2. They reprinted all the original versions, like with the PS2 cases and everything, just because they knew that they were really hard to find because they were pretty obscure, and some of the older ones at least. Yakuza, like Yakuza 4 is not hard to find. Actually, Yakuza 3 is on the PS3. I said that was PS2. I think that's PS3 as well. So that was already a sign that, okay, people are starting to really want these games. Like, is Yakuza huge? No. Is it getting more of a fan base? Yeah, I think it's becoming more of a cult, even more of a cult franchise than it already was, at least in America. So, I'm going to grab my phone for a minute here because I just want to make sure I got this right. But Yakuza 6 just announced their special edition, which is awesome because they usually don't do, or I've never gotten a Yakuza special edition. They had the business edition of Yakuza 0, but that's not really a special. I guess it's special, but it's not like a highly anticipated collector's edition. So I just want to get my phone here because, well, first of all, Yakuza 6, I don't know if that was announced with the collector's edition. I can't remember if that was announced a while back or not, but regardless, we knew it was going to come eventually. So, Yakuza 6 Special Edition. And this looks awesome too. It's about $90. And it comes in a nice box. I think the dragon is, I don't know, it's probably the tattoo of one of the characters, probably Majima, Goro Majima. I don't remember, but it looks like it comes with 2 like coasters, which look awesome. And then it comes with, they look like dice. I thought they were dice, but they are ice cubes. Like, I think you're supposed to like freeze them and then put them in the shot glasses that it comes with, which is actually really cool and unique for a special edition. Let's see what they are. Dragon Engine. It's yeah, and it's gonna be on a whole new engine too, which is like I said, Yakuza 2 remake that just got announced. There was just a trailer for it. I actually haven't watched the trailer yet. I will watch that in a minute. Yeah, 2 bar glass, 2 ice stones. That's what they're called. So I'm just gonna assume that you're supposed to like freeze them and put them in there. But it comes with 2 bar glasses. They look like shot glasses to me. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. But and then 2 coasters and a nice little, and then the box, and then an art book, because you can't have a special edition without an art book. I love art books. Some special edition art books really suck. Like if you get like BlazBlue Central Fiction, that's an awesome art book to have. It's a little softcore porny, but the art book itself is awesome, and BlazBlue's an awesome game anyway. So, that's all I wanted to touch upon with Yakuza 6. It looks a lot more. It's hard to say if it'll probably be improved. Look, the thing about the Yakuza games, for anybody who hasn't played them, and this is one of the reasons I'm bringing it up on this channel, is just because I can help spread the word, even though my channel doesn't get a lot of views. Even if it's just like 2 people or 1 person was like, I started playing Yakuza because I heard this podcast or whatever, that'd be awesome to me. Like, So, the thing about the Yakuza games, if you haven't played them, I suggest picking up start with this Yakuza 1 remake. Maybe not even start with Yakuza 0. Now, Yakuza 0 is fucking awesome, don't get me wrong, but let me explain. So, Yakuza 1 was the beginning of the series. Yakuza 0 is obviously a prequel, hence the 0. It just came out. Yakuza 1, the remake, is only like $30. Go get it. It's gonna be good. Like, if it's not, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just running on the Yakuza 0 engine. So it's not even like you're playing the old PS2 version for people who are like, I just can't get into old games. This is a very good time to get into Yakuza. This is the perfect time. I suggest going to get Yakuza 1, and I do suggest getting Yakuza 6. I will say that all the Yakuza games, it is better to play them in order for story's sake. However, usually, like, Yakuza 4 had all the cutscenes from 1, 2, and 3 up to that point. I don't know if 6 will do that. I'm not saying they will, but they usually do a pretty good job of either distancing themselves from past stories, or if they don't want to distance themselves, because they want to progress the story and some of the old stories, because it is all one big story. They're usually pretty good at not like throwing the players this crazy loop and having you be like, what? I don't know any of this story. That's like, for example, like Kingdom Hearts 3, that's like my biggest fear, because I'd never played any of the side games and stuff, and like I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3, but the story is so fucking ridiculous at this point. Yakuza's not like that. You should be fine. My first Yakuza game was Yakuza 4. And yes, there was times I was like, that must have been something from the past games, but most of the time I was just enjoying the new story they had told there. The prison break scene is what really got me hooked on the Yakuza story. So there's the story, and then for also people who don't play it, it's goofy. It's goofy as fuck. It plays like Grand Theft Auto, but not quite as free roam. Like, you are in the streets of Tokyo, but you don't like get in cars and like run people over or get guns and stuff like that. Excuse me. But you and you can't like punch random civilians and stuff. But you just kind of walk around the city. They have all these little mini games. My favorite is like, well, usually they have karaoke in the Yakuza games. It's very much Japanese lifestyle. If you're into Japanese culture at all, Yakuza, in a very goofy way, does a very good job of capturing the spirit of the Yakuza life in Japan and just some life in Japan in general, such as karaoke. Or they have like, in Yakuza 0, they have like this like sex video service thing where you look at like porn stars and naked women. It's fucking weird, and you watch it and you're just like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I watching? Why is this in this game? Or like, there's my favorite in Yakuza 0. No, it's not the porn stars. Is the disco minigame. It's just so ridiculous. Like, there's because Yakuza 0 takes place in '88, so disco was big there. Or at least it had like a fall, in Japan. So like you can do like disco mini games, and you have to like work your way up to become the disco king and face off against Miracle Johnson, which is a play off words of Michael Jackson. It's so silly. So even the side games are fun. My point is that and if I didn't explain this very well, go look into Yakuza. Don't just watch the trailers, like look into it, see what people say, see their reactions, because you will find a lot of different things. Now is a really good time to get into Yakuza.